Around 2 years ago, I bought the GoPro Hero 12 Black with the idea of filming mostly spontaneous POV style footage. But then at the end of 2023, a new camera came out, the Osmo Pocket 3. And once I got my hands on one, everything changed. After using both, I realized that the Osmo Pocket 3 suited my needs far better than the GoPro. And in the end, it's time to say goodbye. So if you can't decide between the GoPro and the Osmo Pocket 3, then this is the perfect video for you. Before I get into this video though, I do want to explain that the GoPro and the Osmo Pocket 3 are two very different cameras with different use cases. Chances are you just want a lightweight portable camera that takes good video, and hopefully this video will help you. One of the biggest differences between the GoPro and the Osmo Pocket 3 is the fact that the Osmo has a built-in 3-axis gimbal. The GoPro relies on hyper-smooth stabilization, which is great for action shots, but compared to the Osmo, it's nowhere near as smooth. So just take a look at these two different shots. One is on the GoPro, and one is on the Osmo Pocket. Can you guess which one? Both of these clips are very smooth. The difference though is that the Osmo Pocket 3 has a built-in gimbal, which means you don't get any strange warping like you do on the GoPro. So if we zoom in on this footage, you can see how the background on the GoPro is warping all over the place, and you just don't get this on the Osmo, which means you do get cleaner, nicer gimbal footage. Image quality is of course a key deciding factor between the two cameras. Both of these cameras can shoot 4K, and the GoPro can even shoot 5.3K. Both have a pretty decent natural color profile, so this is without needing to color grade the footage, and both also have log footage, so you can color grade in post. The issue with the GoPro is that the sensor just isn't as good as the one in the Osmo, and when it comes to low light, the GoPro is borderline unusable. Take a look at these two examples. Both of these are shot in low light. This was, for me, the biggest deal breaker for the GoPro. The low light footage on the Osmo looks absolutely fantastic. You can shoot pretty much at night and the footage will look good. Whereas on the GoPro, the footage falls apart pretty quickly and you get this kind of muddy, nasty looking footage. Because the low light footage is so bad on the GoPro, I wouldn't even consider using it for live events. Whereas the Osmo Pocket 3, I've been able to use this for client projects in low light, and nobody has ever turned around and said, did you use a small little handheld camera for this, or did you use your proper camera? So if you're going to do a lot of shooting in low light, whether or not it's walking around a city and recording yourself, if you're just making cool videos here on YouTube, then the Osmo Pocket 3 wins again. If you want to capture cinematic footage, the Osmo is the only camera here that you should be considering, because the GoPro just does not look cinematic. There's no depth of field in the footage. Because the Osmo has more depth of field, you're going to get an overall better image. This video is sponsored by Kent Faith. If you want to pick up some amazing Osmo Pocket 3 accessories and other camera accessories such as camera bags, tripods, and so much more, be sure to check out the link in the description and you can get 17% off your entire order with the code JACK. This is the audio quality from the GoPro Hero 12 Black, and I think this is fine for most people and in most situations. But I do find that the GoPro is quite limited when it comes to audio options, because if you want to use an external microphone, you have to use the Media Mod Kit. This costs around £80, and as you can see, it adds a lot of extra bulk to the camera. This is where the Osmo Pocket 3 has a slight edge. Not only do I think the built-in microphone is better on the Osmo Pocket 3, but it's also easier to connect microphones, whether or not you want to use wireless ones, or you can use the USB-C port on the back to connect other kinds of wireless mics. Let's switch now to the Osmo Pocket 3 so you can hear the difference between the microphones. So what you're hearing now is the audio from the Osmo Pocket 3, and although I think this does sound better, I probably wouldn't use the built-in microphone in either camera, to be honest. I would always opt for using an external microphone, and you're always going to get better quality if you decide to do that. However, if you don't have the budget to stretch and buy an external microphone, then you've heard what both sound like now, and which do you prefer? What you're hearing right now is audio from the Boya Link 2. This is a wireless microphone that works with the Osmo Pocket 3 if you plug the receiver in via USB-C. Super easy to use, plug and play, and the audio quality sounds fantastic compared to the built-in microphones. I'll actually be doing a full review of this mic. It works with iPhone, Android, the Osmo, and even laptops as well, so it's a super versatile little mic. If you want to see that review, be sure to subscribe. Something else I really like about the Osmo Pocket is just how easy it is to add filters. ND filters can just clip on magnetically, whereas on the GoPro you can add ND filters, but you have to actually remove the lens cover. And this is a really fiddly process, and obviously you risk actually getting dust and scratches on the lens itself, and that's something you want to avoid, whereas with the Osmo you can just snap these on in seconds. So although both of these cameras support NDs, the Osmo wins here based purely on convenience. Speaking of convenience, I love the fact that the Osmo Pocket 3 has a built-in battery that can also be fast charged from 0 to 100% in around 30 minutes, which is crazy good. So if you've forgotten to charge it and you left it out all night, you can just plug it in real quick and you've got a whole day's worth of shooting on there in 30 minutes. So with the GoPro, you're looking at 2 hours charging time per battery or 30 minutes on the Pocket 3. That means you can charge the Pocket 3 4 times while you've only charged the GoPro once. Now, to be fair to the GoPro, it's still the much better choice if you need a rugged waterproof camera, because the Osmo Pocket 3, it's just not built for that at all. You cannot leave the Osmo Pocket 3 out in the rain. You cannot put the Osmo Pocket 3 underwater. You cannot drag the Osmo Pocket 3 through a storm. It just will not survive. That's why at the beginning of this video I said that the GoPro and the Osmo Pocket 3 are two very different cameras. And although you may be torn between the two, they have very different use cases. And that's where it all boils down to what you need. In the end, the Osmo Pocket 3 was best for me, and that's why I sold the GoPro. Because I just don't really need the waterproof, rugged camera. What I need is a good camera that takes great B-roll. In fact, the Osmo Pocket 3 footage is so good that I can put it in with my A7 IV footage and nobody notices. So which camera is for you? Let me know down in the comments. Are you team GoPro or team Pocket 3? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. It really helps out my channel. And if you have any comments or questions about either of these cameras, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon if you want to see another video. There's a few up here on the screen as well if you fancy sticking around and watching some more of my videos, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.